song.
Yeah.
And what's more, while you're looking for that, there was one I think called Hearing Aid. There was the Band-Aid version for all the metal bands for the 1980s. Look that one up too. Look that one up on YouTube.
I will.
I'm sure I loved it at the time. I'm sure it's absolutely brutal.
Yeah, probably most of those were. Most of those
were, but I can't remember the Canadian one. My favourite band of all time, Rush, are Canadian, so I bet you they're on that. I'll be on YouTube on the way back. Or just tune in next week. You're going to play next week.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, lots to get through this week, and we're sort of heading into that Christmas period as well, so we might give a quick mention to some of the Christmas classics as well. But I suppose there's one movie on everybody's radar at the minute, or most people's radar, the big one playing right now, Wicked for Good.
Yeah, everyone has been following the yellow brick road right to the cinema. There's actually been several articles people might have seen. They're going, what has saved... it's not been a great year for cinemas. They've had like 4 or 5 massive movies. Things like Minecraft were huge. And Wicked for Good has been absolutely huge. And it has that magic touch of people, they want to see it in the big screen in the comfy chairs. It's an event movie. And, the other thing is, people are going and they're buying their stuff. They're having a glass of wine or whatever in it because it's like a night at the theatre. And,
it's based on a Broadway musical.
Not your theatre, but it's very affordable. But it is much more affordable than flying to London or going to the Bord Gáis and staying there. But people are dressing up to go and see it. Yeah. And it has been a big hit. Now, we said the last day, I hadn't seen the second part when we were talking about it last month. And I had heard that the first part is the one with all the showstoppers and bangers, and the second part is a bit more sedate. And really, it's not a sequel. It's the second half of the show.
Story, yeah.
And that is true. But I was surprised how much I enjoyed it because, it's not I am not the target audience at all. And I went in going, everyone said the first one was really good, but the second half's not as good. But no, it's more that it's the conclusion. And I loved all the Wizard of Oz stuff that's in it because the movie starts with Dorothy arriving, even though she's off like on stage left. She's just kind of in your peripheral vision and all these other bits. But this is the bit where it ties in all the bits and go, okay, that's how that happened. This is how, it's an unusual trick. It manages to have a sideways look at the Wizard of Oz without ruining the Wizard of Oz. For example, and this is one that maybe only makes sense to Rory who's listening, or Rory here, other the people who are listening.
No, I'm listening. I am listening to you.
It's not Alien 3. It doesn't ruin another movie by changing what happens. Yeah. It's a sideway look at it. So you're going, I can still enjoy Wizard of Oz and understand that side of the story and enjoy Wicked for Good. And
It's a little bit like Back to the Future 2.
Exactly like Back to the Future 2.
The events of the first movie, just often on, as you say, in your peripheral vision.
So what's great about this is...
I had to get it Back to the Future.
Darina is here doing something for our TikTok, right? We should have got her to time how quickly Rory will mention Back to the Future each week, right? That was, 4 minutes? That's really good.
Yeah, that's a record.
But you're dead right. It is exactly that. You can enjoy both of them and one doesn't ruin the other for knowing the people in the corner are looking on.
I have to be very careful what I say about Back to the Future because Roisin out there still hasn't watched it, and how long have we been nagging her now? About 6 months?
Yeah, 40 years. I know she's only been there for some of those years, but we're definitely doing that. But back to Wicked for Good, it is just well worth it. And do you know what I think is a great view of it? And you would know this as well from a lot of your shows in theatre. Yeah. It's when somebody is dragged to see it and they walk out and go, do you know what? I actually quite enjoyed that. There's almost
mission accomplished.
There's an extra pleasure in that, isn't there?
Yeah,
even more so because the theatre fans were always going to love it. The people who've gone to see it in the Bord Gáis are always going to love it. But you see all the, I don't want to be a stereotype, but it is probably the husbands and kids coming out going, yeah, actually, I really enjoyed that. And the other thing is, you can't beat talent. Obviously, they have recorded their voices, to do the album and all that. But the fact that Cynthia Everett and Ariana Grande can really sing, they can really belt it out, they can do that live, and you see it in a lot of the interviews, they burst into song and you go, wow, real talent. Everyone there is a proper all singing, all dancing musical star, and it shows you when you cast the right people how it all works together. It's very good. Okay. Surprisingly good.
All right, okay, so that's Wicked for Good in theatres right now, and probably will be hanging around for quite some time.
Still doing very well.
Okay. We're going to go for a short commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk this week's big release, Zootropolis 2. We'll do that right after this.
The This Sunday, tune Highlands Way for live coverage from the Donegal Under-21 Football Championship Final. Defending champions Four Masters go up against the Niamh Connell Club, who are looking to make a clean sweep of titles in the county this year. Throw-in is 2 p.m. in Ballyshannon. Highlands coverage of the Donegal Under-21 Final is in association with McCafferty's Bar at the Pier, Donegal Town. Opening December 1st. Enjoy live music and amazing food every day of the week at Donegal Town's newest hotspot.
McCullough Jewellers in Letterkenny are synonymous with fine jewellery, quality watches and giftware. With stores at Main Street, Letterkenny and the Letterkenny Shopping Centre or online at ormccullough.com. You can choose from their quality product range in a relaxed atmosphere, and their sales staff will be happy to help you make the right choice whatever the occasion. McCullough Jewellers, making moments magical for generations.
The wait is almost over. Miss Saigon lands at Millennium Forum Derry from the 26th of May. The epic love story is reborn in this spectacular new production of the legendary musical. Don't miss Saigon in Derry for 1 week only. Book now at millenniumforum.co.uk.
For 25 years, the Citizens Information Board has been your trusted source for clear and reliable information on rights and entitlements. As times have changed, so have we, making sure you always have access to unbiased information. So if you're wondering where to turn for information on your rights and entitlements, we're your free and reliable source. For more, go to citizensinformation.ie. Citizens Information Board, a trusted source for 25 years.
The Ready Set Ford 261 sales event is on this November. Discover incredible savings across Ford's electrified range, from the sleek Puma Gen E and versatile Kuga plug-in hybrid to the adventurous Explorer and iconic Capri. With prices from just €28,900, there's never been a better time to drive a new Ford. Visit Ford.ie or your local dealer by 30th of November. Ready, Set, Ford. T's and C's apply. Price excludes delivery and dealer-related charges and includes grant and VRT relief. See Ford.ie for details.
Black Friday is now on at the Cope Dunlow. Hurry, sale ends this Sunday, 30th of November. Get up to 50% off men's and ladies' fashion, homeware, sportswear, appliances and gadgets. Shop in-store or online at thecope.ie.
Time is 12 minutes to midday, and we are talking movies with Collie McFadgen. Now, the big release of this week, Zootropolis 2.
Yes, and in some ways, the big release of about the last 5 months, because if you're somebody with someone between the ages of probably about 4 and 10, you know there's been a dearth of movies. There's been some stuff for little people, and there's been things for very young, like Paw Patrol and that sort of thing that's done really well. But there hasn't been a good family movie since probably Bad Guys 2. And this has been a long time in the pipeline too. A lot of people know it as Zootopia. One of the reasons, that's what it was called in America. The other reason is illegal streams. All of you watching it. But we'll move on from that. But it's
quickly
Zootropolis. So it's this land where all the animals live together. It's about a young cop who teams up with a fox. It was very funny. Jason Bateman is the voice of the fox. A load of big celebrity cast. It was really good about 9 years ago, and did all those things of really good Disney. Look, Disney movies always look great. There's no doubt about that. But they did the thing of having a story that works for the adults and the kids, and it's not just jokes forced for the adults. You know, here's one for the adults, here's one for the kids. Everyone enjoys it. It was really good. It's been a long time waiting for the sequel, but it opened yesterday, and I'm glad to say it's great. And as a matter of fact, Rory, I'm going to say this, you would love it. And the reason you would love it is not just because it's funny and the story is good and that the kids would really enjoy it, but it's so movie littered and has all these movie jokes in. And again, there's a movie called Shark Tale that you might remember. Yeah. And they put in a load of Goodfellas, I'll try that again. Goodfellas and Godfather jokes. I don't know. It's Christmas madness has got to me. And jokes, but they were just forced in there. Whereas this is all part of the story. So there's a bit where the snake is in the snow, and next thing you go, hang on, that's The Shining that they're doing. But it's all part of the story. There's a bit where somebody has to have anti-venom, and they absolutely do it Pulp Fiction style. Right,
Okay.
inject, and I was going, oh, that is so funny. But it doesn't, the kids aren't going, why is that happening? You know, it's not forced. So it's so funny, it's so clever. Everyone's going to enjoy it. Like Granny and Grandad and the little ones can all enjoy that film. And it's probably a while since we've had something that everyone can enjoy.
Such an all-rounder.
Yeah, probably when we were talking about the classics, like stuff like the anniversary of Back to the Future and stuff like that. It's probably that long since we were. We talked about those ones because there wasn't anything filling that gap in the last 5 or 6 months. And this is definitely doing the job. I think it's going to be packed all over this weekend and all over Christmas. I know there's a lot of Christmas fairs and stuff, but it's going to be around all through Christmas. And this is a guaranteed, everyone's, stuck together at Christmas. Everyone's fighting with each other. Bring everyone to see Zootropolis 2. Everyone's going to enjoy it on different levels, but everyone's going to enjoy it. Guaranteed. Okay. I'm saying this, not often I say that I'm absolutely guaranteed, but I'm pretty sure.
Well, you've gone on the record now, so you do know if I'm dragged to see this and I don't enjoy it, I'm holding you personally.
I'll hear about it. I'll have to pay for the ticket, won't I? Yeah.
All right, so that's Zootropolis 2. That is in theatres, released this week.
Yep.
But again, like Wicked,
it's going to be around for a while.
It'll be sticking around. All right. So let's move on to a few Christmas classics. This is always fun. Yep. This is always my favourite one of the year.
I know it's not yet December the 1st, right? But it's the closest we're getting to December 1st.
So
I think it's allowed. I know in the cinemas I work in, now we don't schedule it till the week of December the 1st. And we've started putting on our Christmas movies. But before I talk about what's on, Rory, what would your favourite be?
What's my favourite? Right, okay. We sort of have a top 5 on our house that gets a look in every year. They have to. Mine, personally... And this is a movie that I didn't like as a young fella. I thought this was just a sort of a cheap rip-off of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
I don't doubt it, but do you think it's because when you were a young fella, you just thought the dad was the doofus, and now you look at it and go, I am the dad?
Well, that's the thing. I can sort of understand where poor old Clark Griswold's coming from. He wants to give his family the perfect Christmas, and it's so well intentioned, and he's full of heart, and he is a good guy, but just nothing goes right. Nothing goes right for him, and that's where the comedy is. Like a staple in my house growing up was always the original Vacation. Not really a Christmas movie, but it always ended up on telly at Christmas, and that's why I love that movie so much. That the Christmas Vacation didn't really do, because it's so much more family friendly.
Yeah, absolutely. The other one's a bit much ruder.
Oh, very much so. They're not family movies, definitely not. But this one, much more family orientated. And as you get older and your focus shifts and your priority shift.
Yeah, that sentimentality isn't as cloying anymore. You quite like it,
No, it's a lovely movie and it's funny and it's got a little bit of everything. And there's nothing complicated in it, Lots of fun. So I'm going to flip it back to you. What's yours? Okay,
so there's 2 that I would say. And again, they've changed over the years because it very much would have been Gremlins and stuff like that when I was younger. One that really grew on me was Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved the original. I remember watching it with my mum, the old black and white original.
Yeah.
And when they remade it, I suppose I might have actually been, I'd have been a teenager. But I would have said, what are they doing that for? It's stupid to remake such a classic. Although Richard Attenborough does look a bit like Santa. I remember watching it and being in floods. Just watching it and absolutely loving it. Won me over completely. And I was actually saying, particularly the scene where the little girl who's deaf and he starts speaking sign language to her. And I only found out fairly recently that she didn't know he'd learned sign language. So the actress's reaction is real.
It's the genuine,
genuine reaction, which is just a lovely thing. And the other one, now this is not a shock, it'll be on a lot of people's list, but I had never seen It's a Wonderful Life till about 4 years ago, because I just thought it's an old movie. And then I started watching and went, it starts with a very dark moment. He is trying to take his own life at the start of it, and I was going, this is a family favourite, and it's all about not being able to afford mortgages and things. I was going, how is this? First of all, I didn't realise how laugh out loud funny it is. It is a brilliant comedy. And then by the end, I was swept up on it. And I was going, no wonder people love it. And I now watch that every year.
Yeah.
Lots of people have watched it every year, but they don't usually start when they're 48 watching it then. But absolutely, and maybe it was the wrong time for me. And what's amazing about that movie, like so many other movies we have talked about here that are classics, Wizard of Oz, etc., that was a flop when it came out.
But it's most of the what we consider Christmas classics, quote unquote, they were flops. They didn't do that well, and it's only
TV.
Video, DVD, and TV. That they've become family staples at Christmas.
And Christmas might be the one season that nobody really wants something new. They want a favourite, don't they?
It's a comfort thing.
It's a comfort thing. You get new Christmas movies, and people like watching the Hallmark movies and stuff like that, but they don't really like to rewatch them. It's the classic ones they like to rewatch. And there's things that they watched when they were a kid, and now they're watching with their kids and watching with their grandkids. And there's something lovely about that. It's why the Santa Claus never goes out of fashion.
Yeah.
All the other ones. Grinch is still really popular, particularly the cartoon version. I think some people find the Jim Carrey one a wee bit scary. But Elf, I know neither of us are massive fans of, but people love Elf. And Elf is the one that you put on a 9 o'clock show of Elf in the cinema and it sells out, right? Because it's all people in their 20s and 30s going to see Elf. It is amazing. But here's
what amazes me about that, in the the age we live in now, where everything is so readily available, the touch of a button in your own living room, that people will still go to the cinema to see these for the experience.
Absolutely. And there's certain things, and the people who've know every beat of the movie, and it's available on stream and all that, will go to the cinema. They did it for Back to the Future. They did it for Jaws. The anniversary was still shown on Netflix when it was playing the anniversary, and everyone was happy to come and pay to see it. But Elf's one of those. But the number one winner always in our cinema at Christmas is Home Alone. Of course. Nothing can beat Home Alone. Because there's nothing funnier than seeing, when you're a kid, seeing adults get smacked in the face with a paint tin. There is just nothing
funny.
An
iron.
Yeah, or an iron. Or there are a million other things that they do.
Yeah.
And because that is not an easy role. That pretentious kid stuff. You've seen it done so many other times. Never done as well as...
Absolutely. But you know what I think lifted that movie a whole other level? Was John Williams' soundtrack.
Yes.
The first few notes of that little motif, everybody, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that just automatically triggers.
Yeah, absolutely. That and the sentimentality is right. And because, of course, every child's fear, which is why there's so many stories about it, is being abandoned by their parents. So you've got that bit of genuine jeopardy, and then the Tom and Jerry fun stuff. And as you said, they didn't scrimp with the money. They've good stars in it, John Candy, everyone else in small roles. Catherine O'Hara, who we had yet to realise was going to be the legend of Schitt's Creek and all those sorts of movies, but all really good proper actors. Joe Pesci, Oscar winner, Joe Pesci, in this role. So they didn't scrimp on it. And look, it also managed to be one of the few movies, the sequel, that they actually got right with the sequel, and even Donald Trump couldn't ruin. Although I must admit...
or couldn't turn it down.
Apparently he insisted if they were going to use his hotel, the only reason he'd leave the hotel in it is if he got a cameo in it. Now, it's been known in certain cinemas that we give the time that he appears in it, just in case anybody fancies going to the loo. That's up to you. Lots of different political opinions. I don't want everyone to give out to Rory. Give out to me if that's a problem for you. But I think that'll be, of all the things at Christmas, and again, there's no way that anyone's going to see Home Alone that hasn't seen it probably 5 times. Maybe they're bringing a new kid to it, but most of the family will have seen it 5 times, and they will come again this Christmas, and it's great.
Okay, brilliant. Collie, thanks as always for joining us, and we'll talk to you again before Christmas, and we'll revisit a few more Christmas classics as well, I think.
Great, and we might even have a new one.
Maybe. That's where we wrap things up for this morning. Thanks to everyone who got in touch with the show, with the requests, dedications, the wonderful suggestions for music. Big thanks to Roisin and Owen for their help on the programme as well. I'm back next Saturday morning. Paul McDevitt's up next with the Saturday Shuffle, and Katie's here with a news update for you. And I'll talk to you next Saturday morning.
Don't miss your chance to win over €10,000 with Visionary.